I'm Allyson Rice, and I am the author of The Key to Circus-Mom Highway. It is about two estranged sisters living in the Chicago area who receive a call from a lawyer telling them that their birth mom has died. So they have to go down to Florida and meet with a lawyer, and he says that their birth mom had designed a trip that they have to go on in order to collect the inheritance, because she wanted them to understand why she made the choices she made in her life, why she abandoned them as infants. So they have to go along, they make certain stops, they meet her friends that she knew once she left, and there's a lot of humor and a brother that they didn't know existed, and a lot of twists and turns in the story. No, the original seed of the idea was when I rewatched the movie After Hours. It's an 80s movie with Griffin Dunne and Rosanna Arquette. And I always loved that movie. I loved that he was just trying to get home in this movie. All the characters around him are the really bizarre characters in the New York City nightlife underworld. And I thought it was hilarious. And there are some serious moments that are woven into that. So the initial thought was, I want to write something like that. Just someone trying to get somewhere. It's difficult because obstacles keep coming up, and the landscape is populated by very funny, weird characters. The first thing I did was write it and did all my research virtually. I always start there. And I chose locations based on travel times and the names of places. If there was a particular name I kind of liked and gravitated toward. So I wrote the first draft, and then I went on the road trip that the characters go on. I did it in two parts. I did the loop around southern Louisiana with my son, and then did another trip with my mom a couple of months later where we did the Alabama and the back roads through southern Georgia, and we ended up in Savannah. And I hadn't decided at that point which little island off the coast of Savannah I wanted the birth mom's last home to be. So we explored all of those, and I picked the little island, and I picked the house so that if a movie's ever made, I'm gonna go, this is where she lived, let's go ask them. I wrote it, I wanted it to be a fast, fun read, whether you're reading it on the beach or whether you're curled up in the middle of winter and you're not going outside. The kind of book that people would love to sit there and read in one sitting if they have the time to do that. There was one review, and she said she thought it was an extraordinary read, entertaining from cover to cover. She wished she could have done it in one sitting. When the book was finished, she kept thinking about the characters and hoping that their lives and their families' lives have turned out the way they wanted, like they were real people. So I want people to be laughing, but I want there to be things that people keep thinking about after they put it down. So.
Dream scenario, who would be your cast for the book?
Yeah, when I first started, I was thinking Reese Witherspoon as Jessie and Leslie Mann as Jennifer. And I was like, if only Robert Downey Jr. had been, decades younger, he would have been Jack. So I couldn't figure that out for a while. And then, what's the show with, it's Clayne Crawford who played Riggs in that, who's just a little, he's got an edge to him, and he was funny, and I thought, he would be great as Jesse's brother. He and Reese Witherspoon looked like they could be siblings, and they were all the perfect age. And then as I was going on, another cast came up, and I thought Maggie and Jake Gyllenhaal as Jesse and Jack, and Judy Greer as Jennifer. So those would be pretty great casts.